You know what's interesting? If you ask 10 people what makes someone look athletic, most of them won't say big arms, huge chest, or six pack abs. They'll describe someone with broad shoulders, a narrow waist, and a body that naturally looks powerful, even in a plain t shirt. That's called a V taper physique. And here's the crazy part. Most people think you need expensive gym memberships, fancy machines, or heavy dumbbells to build it. But that's not actually true. In fact, if you understand what creates the illusion of a V-shaped body, you can start building one right at home using nothing but your body weight. The problem is that most home workouts completely miss the muscles that matter. People spend hours doing random push-ups, endless crunches, or hundreds of jumping jacks, then wonder why their body still looks exactly the same. So today, I'm going to show you the easiest, science-backed way to build a V-taper body at home without any equipment. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which muscles to focus on, which exercises actually work, and why most people accidentally train in a way that hides their V-taper instead of creating one. First, let's understand what a V-taper really is, because this is where almost everyone gets confused. A V-taper isn't about being the biggest guy in the room. It's about proportions. Imagine two people who both weigh exactly the same. One has average shoulders, a thick waist, and average posture. The other has wider shoulders, a slightly bigger upper back, and a lean waist. Even if they have the same amount of muscle, the second person instantly looks stronger, more athletic, and more attractive, because the human eye naturally notices proportions before size. That's why swimmers, gymnasts, and many combat athletes often look incredibly impressive without carrying bodybuilder-level muscle mass. Their body shape creates the illusion of power. Now here's something most fitness influencers won't tell you. There are only 3 things that create a V-taper. Number 1 is wider shoulders, especially the side delts. Number 2 is a wider upper back, mainly the lats. And number 3 is keeping your waist lean instead of trying to build massive oblique muscles. That's it. Everything else is just supporting those 3 factors. So instead of trying to train every muscle equally, we're going to focus on the muscles that visually make the biggest difference. Let's start with the shoulders, because they're the easiest way to instantly look wider. The side deltoids are the muscles that sit on the outside of your shoulders. When they grow, they make your shoulders appear broader, even if your bones don't change. But here's the challenge. Traditional push-ups mostly train your chest and front shoulders. That's why people who only do push-ups often end up with decent chests, but still don't have that wide upper body look. So what should you do instead? One of the best body weight movements is the pike push-up. By raising your hips and shifting more of your body weight over your shoulders, your delts have to work much harder. As you get stronger, you can gradually elevate your feet to increase the difficulty. This simple progression allows you to keep building your shoulders without ever touching a dumbbell. Next comes the muscle that many people think you can't train without a pull-up bar, the lats. These are the large muscles running along the sides of your back, and they're one of the biggest reasons elite athletes look wide from the front. Now, if you don't have a pull-up bar, don't panic. While vertical pulling is ideal, you can still stimulate your upper back using body weight techniques. Reverse snow angels, prone YTW raises, towel rows using a sturdy door, or backpack rows if you have a loaded backpack, all help activate the muscles responsible for improving your upper body width. The important thing isn't having perfect equipment, it's making those muscles work through a full range of motion while gradually increasing the challenge over time. And here's something that surprises many people. Your waist size often matters more than your shoulder size. Think about it. If your shoulders stay the same, but your waist gets smaller, your upper body instantly appears wider. That's why getting lean is such a powerful visual transformation. Unfortunately, many people believe doing hundreds of sit-ups every day will give them a smaller waist, but spot reduction simply doesn't work. Your body decides where it burns fat based on genetics, not on which muscle you're exercising. Crunches strengthen your abs, but they don't magically melt belly fat. The only reliable way to shrink your waist is by lowering your overall body fat through smart nutrition, consistent training, and staying active throughout the day. And that's actually great news because it means you don't need to waste hours chasing ineffective ab workouts hoping they'll burn belly fat. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, I know the muscles now, but what should I actually do every week? That's where most people make another huge mistake, and fixing it can dramatically speed up your results. Most beginners think the secret is doing more exercises. They'll search for 100 best bodyweight workouts, save dozens of routines, and end up changing their workout every single week. But your muscles don't grow because they're constantly surprised. They grow because they're forced to do a little more than they did before. That's called progressive overload, and it's one of the most important principles in exercise science. Even without equipment, you can apply it in several ways. You can increase your reps, slow down the lowering phase of each exercise, reduce your rest time, add an extra set, or move to a more difficult variation. For example, if regular pike push-ups become easy, elevate your feet. If standard push-ups become too comfortable, switch to diamond push-ups, archer push-ups, or decline push-ups. Your muscles don't know whether the resistance comes from a barbell or your own body weight. They only know how hard they're being challenged. So if I had to design the simplest V-taper workout that almost anyone could do at home, it would look something like this. Start with pike push-ups for your shoulders. Then do towel rows using a sturdy door, backpack rows with a loaded backpack, or pull-ups if you happen to have a bar. Follow that with regular or decline push-ups to build your chest while supporting shoulder development. Add reverse snow angels or YTW raises to strengthen your upper back and improve posture. Finally, finish with a plank or hollow body hold to build a strong, stable core without overdeveloping your obliques. Perform this workout 3 to 4 times per week, focus on good form, and every week try to make at least one small improvement. It doesn't have to be dramatic. One extra rep or one slightly harder variation is enough to keep your body adapting. Now, let's talk about something that can completely ruin the V-taper illusion, even if you're training consistently: your posture. Imagine someone with naturally broad shoulders who spends 8 hours a day hunched over a laptop or looking down at their phone. Their shoulders roll forward, their upper back rounds, and suddenly they look much narrower than they actually are. Poor posture can literally hide the physique you've worked so hard to build. That's why strengthening the muscles in your upper back is so important. Exercises like reverse snow angels, wall slides, and YTW raises help pull your shoulders back into a stronger position. Pair that with stretching your chest for a few minutes each day, and you'll often notice an immediate improvement in how wide your upper body appears. Sometimes the difference isn't more muscle, it's simply showing the muscle you already have. Of course, no workout can outtrain a poor diet. If your goal is to reveal a V-taper, you need to give your body the nutrients it needs to build muscle while keeping body fat under control. That means eating enough protein every day, getting plenty of whole foods, sleeping at least 7 to 9 hours each night, and staying consistent. Notice I didn't say perfect. One great workout won't transform your body, just like one unhealthy meal won't destroy it. Your physique is the result of what you do consistently over weeks and months, not what you do once in a while. And before you leave, there's one final mistake I want you to avoid. Don't compare your progress to fitness influencers or professional athletes. Many of them have been training for years, have incredible genetics, or simply started much earlier than you. The only comparison that matters is whether you're stronger, leaner, and more confident than you were a few months ago. Because if you keep training your shoulders and upper back, stay lean, improve your posture, and progressively challenge your muscles, your body will gradually start creating that V shape naturally. So if you've been waiting for the perfect time to start because you don't have a gym membership or expensive equipment, this is your sign to stop waiting. Your body doesn't care where you train. It cares how consistently you train. Start with what you have, improve a little every week, and let time do the rest. A few months from now, you could still be wishing you had started, or you could be looking in the mirror and finally seeing those broader shoulders, that narrower waist, and the V-taper physique you've always wanted. The choice is yours. Here's a quick test you can do right now. Stand in front of a mirror wearing a fitted t-shirt. First, relax your posture and let your shoulders roll forward. Now, straighten up, pull your shoulders slightly back, lift your chest, and imagine trying to make yourself as wide as possible without shrugging your shoulders. Did you notice how your body instantly looked more athletic? You didn't gain a single gram of muscle in those few seconds. You simply changed the way your body was positioned. That's exactly why building a V-taper isn't only about muscle growth. It's also about learning to carry yourself correctly. The combination of stronger shoulders, a stronger upper back, and better posture creates an effect that's much bigger than each of those things on their own. Another mistake I see all the time is people obsessing over their waist. They'll wear sweat belts, do hundreds of side bends, or spend an hour doing ab workouts because they think that's the fastest way to get a smaller waist. But here's the truth. You can't shrink your waist by targeting it directly. In fact, doing heavy weighted side bends can actually make your obliques thicker, which may reduce the visual V-taper you're trying to create. Instead, focus on building your upper body while gradually lowering your body fat. As your shoulders and lats become wider and your waist becomes leaner, the contrast between the two increases dramatically. That's what creates the V shape everyone is chasing. And remember, don't underestimate patience. Building a V-taper isn't something that happens in 2 weeks because you found the perfect workout. Your muscles need repeated signals to grow, and that only comes through consistency. If you train 3 or 4 times a week, eat enough protein, recover properly, and keep making small improvements, you'll be surprised how different you can look after 3 to 6 months. Most people quit long before their body has a chance to change. The people who end up with impressive physiques usually aren't the ones with magical genetics. They're the ones who simply kept showing up long after everyone else gave up.